I decided to run because I'm very concerned about what they're doing to our schools. My parents moved up here to the schools. I moved back to the schools. And I know most people in the community, that's why they came here. We need to find more money for our schools, and we need to end teaching to the test. And there don't really seem to be any solutions on the table that I've heard from anyone else about how to do those things. I've got basically 3 ideas on how to raise more money for schools. 1, it's better budget prioritization. More money for schools, less money for private prisons and the like. 2, we need to repeal tax incentives we no longer need. For instance, the legislature passed in the early 2000s a natural gas tax incentive. It worked. We have a booming natural gas industry. But now that exemption is costing the state $1 billion a year. I'd like to eliminate the exemption and put that $1 billion towards schools. And 3rd, I have some non-tax revenue ideas. For instance, the state of North Dakota has what's called a state-owned deposit bank. When all the tax dollars come in the door, they go in a state-owned bank, and the state realizes all the return on that money. In the state of Texas, when your tax dollars come in the door, you deposit in private banks, and the private banks realize a lot of that return. A simple change in how we handle our funds can result in more money for schools, and those are the sort of solutions I want to pursue. I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of other ideas, and I appreciate your time. But the only thing we can say for certain is that the legislature has failed to even meet the criteria and its formulas of what people are supposed to get for their education. We are billions of dollars short, and there are no solutions on the table being presented by the other party on how to actually raise that kind of money. I've got several, 2 of which I've already talked about. Getting rid of the natural gas tax exemption is $1 billion a year. That's a big deal. You've got a state-owned deposit bank. That's a big deal. Another option that's available is some of the private high schools are going to school longer during the school day, 4 days a week. On the 5th day, they're placing students in a paid internship program, some of which that money is going back to the school. And they're estimating that once these programs are fully operational, they can fund 80% of their costs of operations this way. For school districts, we have a large dropout problem because people need to go and work. This would be an opportunity for the students to A, have a paid job, raise money for the schools, and keep them in the classroom most of the week. We also need to look at the funding formulas that have been involved. Right now, your high-level school districts get penalized in a lot of different ways. I'd like to try to change that and make it more equitable. But if you want to get rid of the Robin Hood effect, you need to find a way to fund the low-wealth property school districts. And that's where my ideas come to the table, and that's where the Republicans have failed time and time again to solve the long-term problem.